The Human Resources Appointments and Equity Committee meeting today is Tuesday, April 17th, 2018. Council Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Calling the roll, Ms. Brown.
Present.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Excellent. We have any public comment related to the agenda?
No one has signed in.
Okay, and we have the minutes before us from the last meeting, which was April 3rd. I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. If there's no questions, comments, or concerns, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, excellent. We will now refer to matters to the committee. If you'll read the first item into the record.
Resolution number 2018-0079, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I'm Albert Bouchahine, Manager of Classification and Compensation for the Personnel Review Commission. Before you for your consideration are modifications to the county's non-bargaining classification plan. Changes in department's operational needs and routine maintenance of the class plan have necessitated the revision of 7 classifications, the creation of 6 new classifications, and the deletion of 10 classifications. All the modifications before you were prepared by the PRC staff, who has shared them with department management and the Department of Human Resources to ensure that they're fully aware of these changes before you. In accordance with the PRC rules, these changes were posted on the PRC's website prior to your consideration today. The PRC considered and approved recommending these changes to you at their March 21st, 2018 meeting. Madam Chair, we're requesting that these recommendations be approved under second reading suspension of rules. I thank you for your consideration, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, there was a concern that was brought to our attention with regards to one of the classifications that we touched on earlier today that was that's being moved, I believe, into IT, or can...
Madam Chair, I believe you're referring to the performance consultant classification.
Okay.
Previously, that classification was open to the Department of Health and Human Services, where there's one incumbent, and to the offices of the county executive. The PRC was informed that the reporting structure was changed and that the county executive was no longer overseeing the innovation department, but that they would be reporting to the director of IT. They had requested that we remove the county executive from the departments that the classification was open to and add the information technology department. That's the only change in the class spec.
Okay, and you're comfortable with that?
I am, Madam Chair. We were informed some time ago, and I believe you're all aware, that the Innovation Department is requesting from Council consideration to become its own department. If that's the case, if Council decides to do that, we would come back before you and simply just change the department from IT to Innovation.
Okay, so we'll be on the lookout for that, should that occur. Are there any additional questions, comments, or concerns from the committee? Councilman Miller?
The items where the pay grade level was reduced, can you explain why that occurred and whether any incumbents are affected?
Madam Chair, to Councilman Miller, the Environmental Compliance Coordinator is in the org structure for the Department of Human Resources. There are currently no incumbents in that classification. The department had asked that we revise the minimum qualifications. We removed several certifications that they had required previously, but found that they were no longer necessary. They are a certification in the state of Ohio asbestos building inspector, occupational health and safety technologists, and a certified indoor air quality managers. Those were all removed in addition to the years of experience that were required for the position. Those changes resulted in the reduction in pay grade based on the Archer evaluation system. Again, as I stated, the position is vacant. Once or if you approve these changes, the department will post for the position and then hire. The other position was the senior systems analyst, which was revised to become the information system analyst for homeless services management. There is one incumbent in that classification. That incumbent falls within the pay range of the new pay grade, and there should not be any budgetary impact with this change.
Any other
Is that
questions?
the one that goes from 13 to 12?
That is correct.
Okay. And under new classifications, the one that's pay grade 12B, is that the alternative schedule that's mostly the IT positions?
Madam Chair, to Council Miller, that's correct. Schedule B is reserved for information technology positions which reside at the IT department.
And what is it about a customer experience analyst that puts them in that area?
This person will be working with various departments, my understanding is, to look as to ways that we can improve different IT systems across the county and different apps across the county. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, I'll find it for you.
I believe it's page 34.
Yep.
Okay.
The purpose of the classification, Councilman, is to promote user experience by designing best practices through researching, conceptualizing, and designing applications to be more user-friendly.
And regarding the new positions, are these all positions that the administration intends to fill with at least one person, or are some of them more set aside for possible future use with no immediate plans?
My understanding, Councilman Miller, is that the customer experience analyst, they will post once that position is created. The senior staff auditor is a new classification for the internal audit department, and he is anxiously awaiting and will be filling that position once it's approved. The other classifications were routine maintenance to the class plan. And if there are current employees that will be reassigned to those classifications, that will have to wait till this is approved. But most of these, I believe, except for the critical infrastructure analyst, the facilities energy coordinator, and the program evaluation coordinator, are vacant and will be filled once they're posted.
And are any incumbents affected by the proposed deletions?
Councilman, no, all the deletions that are before you have no incumbents in them, and the departments are not planning to fill them anytime soon.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? Councilwoman Conwell?
Through the chair to Albert, have the pay grade schedules changed in any way?
Madam
Schedule
Chair,
B and-
to Councilwoman Conwell, they have not. This schedule, last time they were changed was due to the 2% COLA that you approved earlier this year.
Okay, and do you have a chart of all these classification changes? This is the first time you came before us this year, or maybe the second?
Second.
Third? Do you have a chart of everything, of all the proposed? Because we get them in bits and pieces. Is there any way that we can just see them all at a?
Sure, I believe, Madam Chair, to Councilman Conwell, is if you look at the proposed ordinance, there should be a memo that outlines the new classifications, revised classifications, and if not, I will, as soon as I get back to the office, I'll email that to all of you.
Do you mean in total since the beginning of the year?
Since the beginning of the year?
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I track that, so I can certainly forward you what's been approved at last meeting and then what you're about to consider today, absolutely.
And let's go back to Exhibit C, for the homeless management information system analyst. I'm not understanding, the pay grade decreased from 13 to 12, how it's not impactful.
Madam Chair, the reason I said there's no budgetary impact is that the employee that's in the pay grade 13 currently, they fall between pay grade 6 and 7 of the pay grade 12. So they're almost at the midpoint of that. There's no budgetary impact with respect to having to move her to step 1 of the new pay grade. So there will be no reduction in salary, and if there's an increase, that would be up to the Department of Human Resources.
And you said it was just one person in that classification. Has it always been just one person?
As far as I know, this person manages, they track the homeless services, all the homeless activities for the county and whatever all other counties they're responsible for. I've only been aware of one individual that does that since I've been here.
Okay, so, because that just seems like a large, so it must be someone that she's managing, you know, that.
It is a supervisory position.
Okay. So do you know how many is in that?
I do not know the exact number, but I will find out and email you that as well when I send you the list.
All right, and last question, do you know who the director of IT is now?
My understanding is the interim, it is, oh boy, sometimers, I can't think of his name. Michael Young is my understanding is filling in the interim. But it exists specifically, exactly, I don't know really.
Okay, so when you stated that, that IT actually wants to, they don't want to have a Department of IT, they want to call it Department of Innovations now?
Madam Chair, Councilwoman Conwell, no, the performance consultant reports to the Director of Innovation. That individual was reporting to the Director of IT, whoever that is. If you create its own independent department, then we will come back and revise the spec, remove Department of IT from that particular specification and add its own department.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? All right, there being none, per your request, I'll make a motion to move this item to the full body of the council under second reading suspension. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. If there's no questions, comments, or concerns, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, this will move to the full body of the council under second reading suspension. Thank you
Thank you.
very much. Is there any miscellaneous business from the committee? All right, there being none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.